So what's up, people? How you guys doing, man? How's everybody rolling today? Everybody going, rocking and rolling, getting themselves geared up for the weekend. What's Thursday today? But this weekend, hope you guys are using your hustle muscle. Your hustle muscle. What is your hustle muscle? Your hustle muscle, man. What is it? Is it your brain or is it your muscles? Or is it this? What's your hustle muscle, guys? Hey, this is KarlSchuckert. If you don't know who I am, my name's KarlSchuckert. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Okay, I believe in multiple streams of income. I like in some investments, but I also like investing in myself, which is my mind. I like helping other people have breakthroughs that will teach them how to have multiple streams of income. So today, on this scope, it's a good one to join, and it's a good one to follow me if you don't know who I am. I'm going to go over some stuff. I'm going to basically answer questions for people. Also want to mention before I get started that I'm doing a heart. Basically, I'm trying to get myself to 1 million hearts, and so for you to help me get there, you just interrupted me hearting you up on the replay, bro. Hey, sorry, man. Sorry, Dave. Sorry about that. I was hoping I was going to get on your scope soon, man. You were telling me some good things at your gym. Invest in Jesus, sure. Sure, whatever, invest spiritually. So I believe in that. I'm not a very religious person, but I definitely am a spiritual person. So wherever you get that from, if you get it from Jesus, great. If you get it from wherever else it comes from, great. I mean, I think spiritually you need to grow that as well. I think spiritually we are all part of energy. So for those that don't know me, like I said, my name's KarlSchuckert. I'm an entrepreneur. Clap 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear me? So heart it up, guys. Heart it up on the side. What we're going to do is we're going to be actually giving away a Kindle Fire, and also I'm going to tell you at the end of here how to get access to my my book, which is basically it's 20 top productivity ebook that'll basically help you skyrocket your business, help you learn how to become more productive in life and in business, so you can basically learn how to have multiple streams of income, which is what I like to teach people. So what do you guys think of the view? What do you guys think of the view? And while we're waiting, where are you guys from? Beautiful view up here, huh? Huh? So where are you guys from? I'm up here in South Lake Tahoe. I live in Zephyr Cove, and we're at our new home. We're just kind of still unpacking, getting things together, and just want to spread the message, man. This is what I'm all about. I'm about spreading the message about a positive mindset, and basically just helping you overcome something, okay? Because there's always something that's pulling us back or holding us, pushing us back, something that's basically keeping you from making that next step. I was up there a month ago. Beautiful. Awesome. Which part were you in? South Lake or just everywhere? Were you in South Lake, North Lake, Incline Village, wherever? I'm in Zephyr Cove. Right next to us is a very, very popular beach called Zephyr Beach, which they have like they have like a big paddle boat, and they have like this whole thing for kids. It's pretty cool. Drove around the whole lake. Cool. That's like 73-mile drive all the way around. What do you do? Well, I have multiple streams of income, okay? My family owns a restaurant. I kind of help them with that, so it's a family-ran business. It's a brick-and-mortar business. I don't necessarily always recommend getting into brick-and-mortar businesses if you're just getting started, but I also own my own software development team. We have a team, and basically we just came out with a company called Now Driven. Stopped at Bonsai Beach, cool. Called Now Driven, which is a sales-driven, sales-centric CRM that basically just helps salespeople develop better relationships and work more relationships in the same amount of time. Also, we're coming out with a new piece of software called Tracker. I also have a piece of software that's an app called Security Deposit Saver app. I also have a sales training website. Basically, we put tons of work into it. I've got a whole studio in my house that we have a green screen, chroma key, everything you need to do it professionally. We did this whole sales training, which has been pretty successful in the insurance industry. And then I also own an insurance brokerage firm, and we got a lot of our success from being one of the first insurance brokerage firms online, because Google recognized us as one of the leaders and one of the first people to jump on it. So Google rewarded us big time back in like early 2007. So I've been online a little bit longer than that, but I've always followed everybody, and about 3 years ago I decided to take it a more professional approach on my online game than anything. Thoughts about e-commerce. I think e-commerce is awesome and it's a huge opportunity, and people buying stuff is never going away. So if you can jump onto that or find some sort of niche that you would be interested in getting into, maybe something that has to do with passion, or maybe this has something to do with something that you know you could sell. So one thing that I've always, I've got good friends that do a lot of e-commerce business, and something that they told me that is good to start with is actually start with products that women like to buy, because men don't spend as much money online. Women are a little bit more, what do you call it, more impulsive to purchase stuff quickly when they see things that they need. Teespring is something to look into. Yes, I've got lots of friends that are crushing it at Teespring. One of my friends, Peter, I'm actually going to go hang out with him this weekend. He does over $1,000 a day selling t-shirts online. So so t-shirts is like a huge niche to be into. Absolutely. Teespring, Represent, Viral Style, Gear Bubble's a new one, which is pretty cool. I was actually checking it out yesterday. That's a great place to be able to do t-shirt sales online. And absolutely, my wife wants to get more into it. I want to get into it. My friend Dave that's on here, he wants to get into it. We were talking about some things. My friend Dave, if you're still on here, you guys could follow him. He owns a gym down in Las Vegas. It's probably one of the biggest MMA gyms in Las Vegas, which I can't really say that because Las Vegas is like a mecca for MMA. But he trains with a lot of the greatest people, and he's got a lot of great people in his gym all the time. And we were talking about, you know, like some shirt ideas and stuff. So that's something we might take it further. Hey guys, would you buy this shirt? It says Hustle on it with a roll right here of hundreds on it. I bought it. Why? Why are shirts? Why do people buy shirts? Because we all have to wear shirts, right? We all need shirts to wear no matter what. So it's a very sustainable business. It's a very sustainable business model, and a lot of people are having tremendous. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, dude, you guys follow Dave. He's going to probably do some more scopes soon, and you know, he's going to be like interviewing people, showing some techniques, showing his gym off. His gym is super sick down in Las Vegas. The people that work in his gym, he's got one of the top trainers in MMA right now that trains like some of the greats. Like Frank Mir, I think, is one of the people that he trains. So make sure you guys follow him. Definitely an awesome guy to follow. Dave type something. Yeah, Dave type something, man. He said the hybrid_man. He's the hybrid man, guys. When should you quit your day job? When you are making enough money to replace the income of your day job, that's when you should leave the day job. What's up, brothers and distas? I don't know what that last word was. I missed it. But you guys, ask me some questions, man. Ask away. 10x. Hey, Dave, are you listening to the 10x rule now? I hope you are, man. That's definitely a game changer, right? It's all about like upping your problems. People are so focused on their problems rather than focused on their solutions and creating more problems in life. Problems create wealth in life. You know, think about it. Do you have the same amount of problems as a millionaire or a billionaire has? Probably not. You don't have the same amount of problems. They have a lot higher problems. They've overcome a lot of smaller adversity and a lot of smaller problems to stack themselves up. And they're always thinking about, how can I add more problems into my life so that way I can just continue to crush and continue to build what we call is a legacy. Okay? If you can build a legacy, we're constantly, everybody's so worried about what I'm doing now and what happened to me in the past. You should be looking in the future, guys. You should be looking further out in the future. I like to drive, every time I drive up to Sacramento, I drive up into this area called, the area is called Incline Village, and they have this place called Shoreline Drive, I think. If you drive through there, they have, I mean, probably the least inexpensive house is probably 1.5 million, but anywhere from probably 1.5 for just a little shack all the way to 40, 50, 60 million dollar houses. And some of the houses up here in Lake Tahoe, yeah, Lakeshore, thanks. Some of the houses up here in Tahoe, not just there, that's not even the richest area, but it's a good way for me to drive through. Gets me going, Cardone, and you have helped me tremendously. Awesome, Dave. I'm so glad that I could be a part of that. So when you drive through there, you basically, I just dream, man. I get off lost and dream, because I always think to myself, like, hey, these guys are doing it. Like, these guys have made it. They've made it. This person's made it. I never considered I have, but I start considering that these persons do. Elson has a house there. So there's so many people that have a house here. It's ridiculous. There's a house right over here, like literally like over here, like right next door. This whole area, I don't know, I'll show you guys. Do you see this whole area? This whole area, there's 165 acres right there, okay? There's 165 acres. this guy owns the biggest piece of property in Lake Tahoe right now, and it's private. You drive up there, it's private. The whole thing's fenced out. The fence you can see in my property line right here. See I don't know if you can see it. See the fence line right there? That's the fence line to his property. And basically the house has inside of what are your thoughts about MLM? Perfect creating for my own digital. I'll hit on MLM in a second. So this whole area right here, you guys have heard of Tommy Hilfiger? You probably have, right? Well, the CFO built a house out here, $100 million house that has parts in the house from the Titanic. Okay, it's mind-boggling, but these guys have the kind of money that they can do it, so they've crushed that life. Obviously, if he can do it, you can do it. Okay, if someone else can do it, you can do it. You just don't know where to go. You don't know how to follow it. Right across the street here, I don't know if you can see down by the lake here, but down there, there's a guy that lives right on the lake. He was the number 13th Google guy. Number 13. He was the 13th person ever hired for Google. The guy's a billionaire with a B. And he lives up here, owns a bunch of property up here, gives away tons of things back away. He recreated the staircase from the Titanic. Yeah, he recreated it, and I heard he used parts from the Titanic in his staircase, which is pretty amazing. Must be someone there from Tahoe. What's up, man? Thanks for joining. Anyways, going back on MLM. I'm not an MLM person, but I do believe that MLM could be Reno. Cool, man. I'm from Reno, too. Went to Hug High. What's up, Thug High? What's up, 5150? So basically I was saying about MLM, just to go back on that question, I'm not a big MLM person. I never really have. Actually, back in 1999 to 2000, I joined an MLM called SkyBiz 2000. I don't know if anybody have ever remembered that, but it was like one of the first or second internet marketing MLMs. Thought it was a great idea. It had like these business centers, which were websites, and then underneath of them were more business centers that you could build. And like if you sold someone a business center, you could build them a website. I had an online website builder. It looked nice. It did good. You know, and anybody I could find that wanted a website, I would just sell them that. And then basically, so anyways, within a month, I built like a 250 person downline. And then from there, we had a couple thousand people. And then 3 months later, and I made money. Okay, I made money at it because we were going down to the college, and we were speaking in front of like fraternity houses. I did that crazy. Yeah, SkyBiz, and it was funny because Carson City was where the checks were written from. So we would get checks like from Carson. We're like, what is this? We don't even know how to get a hold of corporate. Like I tried to get a hold of corporate. I'm like, I can't even get a hold of anybody with this company here. So I don't know what's going on. And they got shut down. Dude, they got shut down by the FBI like 3 months into it. And because of that, I had a lot of friends that basically said, Karl, I'm not going to follow what you do, blah, blah, blah. I lost friendships over it, and I was like, hey, man, I'm not responsible for your results. I have no control about what happened here. So if unfortunately, it was just bad timing for all of us. I made a little bit of money. A few other people in my downline made money, but the company crashed. I think on the long-term value of it, people could have actually really grown it because it was sustainable businesses. This was in the late 90s, early 2000s when people didn't know anything about how to build websites. I mean, think back then that was a huge, huge opportunity. Multi-millionaire and billionaire companies right now do that for large corporations. I know like there's companies that spend, or that people that they'll charge at least $10,000 just to build a website. So that was my extent in MLM. Now I did join something else later on, but I knew going into it that I was just not with it. Like I feel like you have to believe in it in order for you to sell it. So that's one thing. But the other thing is like, this is the thing that happened like Amway. My friend tried to recruit me for Amway a long time ago. I didn't go for it. But they sit you in this thing and they talk to you, and then they go, okay, grab that sheet of paper and write down 100 people that you know, because the sphere of influence says that you have 100 people that you know, right? Or like even today, like Facebook, the average Facebook has like 250 people as friends on Facebook. So we know that their sphere of influence is on that, is that these are all people that they could possibly recruit into their business. It's raining here, so I might have to move inside, but they would have to move into their business. So because of that, I don't believe in that. Okay, what I do believe in is either spending money on leads, of finding people that maybe were interested in MLM in the past or worked with other MLMs, because there's a lot of people in MLM that they kind of bounce around from MLM to MLM because they make money here, they make money there, they make money there. Not a lot of people just necessarily stick with one. But here's the thing, guys. Here's where I'm telling you, I'm not an MLM guy, okay? But here's how you can do it. This is the guys that I see make a ton of money. Is it's not going up front and telling everybody, hey, join my MLM. Don't call your How about Prime America Life? I'll talk about that too, guys. I'm in the insurance industry. I've been in the insurance industry for a long time. Prime America is like an MLM for the insurance industry to me. That's how I see it. Except that they have like offices everywhere that you can go. But most insurance companies, by the way, work like MLMs. Okay. So anyway, going back to what I was saying about most MLMs is that you don't want to have a front end offer saying come join my MLM, because that's the easiest way to push people away from you, because the word MLM is worse than the word sales. Okay, the word MLM is worse than the word of sales. Why is that? Because there's thousands of MLMs that have come and gone. Now there's obviously some monsters out there like Amway, or they changed their name to Quick Start many years ago because of problems that they had with MLM. How many MLMs do you know were shut down because the unscrupulous acts or whatever that was going on with the company? So there's a really bad stigma that you necessarily have to get over. So the best people that I've seen that are really good in the business, they built the list some other way. Okay, how do you build a list some other way? Okay, well, you offer something of value that has a demand in a market. Okay, usually like informational products are the easiest things to build and make, and then you basically find affiliates, and then you have a back-end offer somewhere where you say, hey guys, I'm making money over here. I'd love for you guys to check this opportunity out, because you've already built credibility for yourself. So like once you've already built credibility for yourself within your list of people, then people are going to know, like, and trust you, and they're going to listen to you, even if they decide to do it or not, even if they decide that they want to join with you and follow you in those steps. Now, you do offer like bonuses, you do some training, you do some hand holding. Guys, a lot of MLMs too is like a lot of babysitting. A lot of people don't like that. But I just wanted to go back to that question and answer it. Now, someone else asked me a question about Prime America, so I'll answer that one next. Prime America sells on this thing called put your money in term insurance and put the rest of your money in investments. Okay, they say put all your money in term insurance and the rest of your money in investments. And then they sell you this term insurance, which is low cost, but it's only low cost for like 10 years. After that, the price skyrockets. Okay, the price goes out of hand. People can't afford it. And a lot of people get misconstrued all the time. Thank you, man, for the hearts too, Dave. Appreciate it. You guys make sure to give some hearts. I'm giving you guys golden nuggets right now, and I'm answering your questions individually. So on like a Prime America deal, it's kind of the same thing as MLM. But the thing is you have to bring in people. Prefer creating my own stuff too. Just wanted your thoughts. Yeah, I know who you are. Yeah, you obviously know how to create products. So create your products, and if you're in an MLM, sell them in the back end. I wouldn't sell them in the front end. I'd sell them in the back end of your list. You're an internet marketer, so who I'm thinking of right now is Andrew Fox and Paul Lynch. Like, I know that's how they do. I mean, I don't know them personally, but I know that's how they do their marketing. They create these incredible software products, and then they build a list from it. They get a bunch of JV partners into them because they're big in the industry. And then basically somewhere in the back end, they actually will sell that. They'll actually push that list to join their MLM that they're involved in. So that's why that was one of the best ways I've ever seen it done. I know that there's other ways to do it, obviously. Like I was saying, you can call a list of people that are already on MLMs. You can buy a list of people, and then you can use software. Like you could use my Now Driven software and call as many people as you want, or you could hire people. You could hire people to set up appointments for you to talk with them. It's actually starting to rain, so I'm gonna move into some coverage. I don't have lots of followers that are, well, yeah, but you're definitely known in the industry, so I know who you are. So guys, like that's one thing that you can do, right? So just keep building products, keep building those relationships, keep going to events and stuff like that. How's the restaurant business? Don't like the brick and mortar business due to cost. Yeah, I do not recommend the restaurant business as a good brick and mortar business because the profit margins are so low. The only reason why we did it is because it was more of a passion project for my wife, her sister, and her family. That's the only reason why we did it. And then on top of that, because we found the restaurant up here in Lake Tahoe, and this was one of our goals to live here, we figured let's just do it here. Like, why don't we do it somewhere where we want to live, where we can enjoy our life? So that's the only reason why I did it. But if you're a cook or you have a background in the restaurant business, it could be very lucrative, but I would say that's probably one of the best ways to do it. Or if you're an investor that wants to buy like a franchise, like a proven franchise, guys, the reason why franchises do well is because they have a proven model. Okay, they have a proven model and they have systems that do not change. If you go to a McDonald's and you have a burger in New Jersey and you go to a McDonald's in San Francisco, that burger tastes the same no matter where you go in the country. It's because they have a proven model and they have systems. Everything is completely systematic and they have it down to a T. They know the exact cost. They know how to control cost and hiring costs, overhead cost, everything. And they also require you as an owner, thanks for sharing, they also require you as an owner to work the business for a couple of years and invest like $1 million or $2 million to do it. So they know that they have 100% buy-in to do it. But the people that do buy in, they make like $1 million a year per McDonald's on average. Now, McDonald's maybe isn't that way today, but a few years ago it was. Now, obviously, they're making some changes. There's been like a huge awakening and awareness of people that are starting to understand that the food system is screwed up and flawed, and that's why people are starting to recognize that like organics and natural foods that have no pesticides and stuff like that are actually healthier and more natural and better for your body. But that's where in America we have a major problem, because people are getting sick and fat because they're putting bad stuff in their body. It's just like putting bad stuff in your mind. If you're constantly putting bad stuff in your body and your mind, your output is going to be bad. That's why you're listening to this message, because my message is usually very, very positive, or it's very hammering you down on certain things. But you know, the brick and mortar industry is not a bad thing, guys. The thing about a brick and mortar industry is, like for restaurants, for instance, it's a service industry that a lot of people need. A lot of people are on the go. A lot of people don't like to cook. A lot of people are traveling. So it's a service. It has a need no matter where you go. But you're completely stationed in one area until you can get the right people on the team, and you could sustain your business by knowing your numbers, knowing like the restaurant industry, like you need to know how much money you make per plate. You need to know how much money you make per ticket. You need to know how much money you make per table. You need to understand how much money you make per day, and then you need to understand like how much money you need to spend on advertising, and then you need to figure out what that advertising cost equals into a long-term value of a customer. Because in that industry, long-term value of a customer is where it's at. Okay, that's where you can scale your business out. Once you can understand those hard analytics, then you can find maybe better ways to advertise, or better ways to market yourself, or better ways to have your people refer more. Because if you can get your people to refer, that's where it's at. The word of mouth business is worth more money than anything else, because people believe it. That's why a lot of these sites like Yelp and Foursquare and TripAdvisor and stuff like that why they're so popular is because whenever you go on there, especially if you're someone from out of town, you actually you're actually trying to figure out like who's interested, or you know, you want to hear other people's ideas or mind, or like what kind of food that they have and what kind of experience they had, because you're looking for an experience when you're looking for new restaurants. So that was that on the brick and mortar one. Now, you guys have some other questions for me? I mean, guys, let me ask you, is this helping you? Is this helping anybody here on the scope? Just put a 1 or a yes. Tell me if this is helping you guys out. Even if it's someone that's not really talking on my scopes, I'd love to just hear you say, yes, Karl, this is helping me out. Awesome. Half percenter. Hey, real quickly, what's half percenter mean? I'm just wondering. Dave, what's up, brother? Spanky Cuervo, what's up? Kid 26, awesome. Boost income, I believe that's boosted income. Great, awesome. Tom Callan, awesome, man. Thanks for joining. Yes. So yeah, guys, I'm stoked that that's helping you out. Now, what are some other questions that you have? And by the way, I love the hearts. Thanks for keeping the hearts rolling. Definitely, like I said, if you join my list, I'm giving you guys a chance to win a Kindle Fire. I've got a few other gifts in the works, so I'm going to look at stuff like hearts, shares, that kind of stuff. Love that area in Tahoe. Thanks, man. Yeah, I love it here too. This was always one of my dreams to live up here. One of my dream is a triangle. I want to just tell you guys what it is. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks. My dream is to have what we call the Golden Triangle, and our Golden Triangle is Lake Tahoe, San Diego, and maybe Hawaii. So that's like a big triangle, right? That's what we want to do. Is we want to have a home here, a home in San Diego, and like a condo or something in Hawaii that we can go whenever we want. You know, something like that. Maybe even something we could rent out when we're not around, so it's income producing, and it's like an income producing vacation house. So that would be like that's another tip, by the way. You guys ever heard of Airbnb? We're in San Diego. Cool. I used to live in Carlsbad. I loved it there. I would like to move back. Even if it's not Carlsbad, it could be somewhere right around the area. Encinitas, all that whole area in the coast, all the way down to Del Mar. Yeah, Del Mar is so much fun too. Like during the horse races and the free concerts and all those little towns. I miss all the little farmers markets. You're in Carlsbad. Cool, man. We lived actually by the village for a while in like a little 800 square foot house, and had to totally rebuild my mindset. Literally came from nothing. Just got it way out of weight, didn't care, got super depressed, even though I was in Carlsbad. But also, that was like the worst point, because I moved there and one of the worst points in my life to try to bring myself together. And then I also had some major mind resets and rebuilt my business up from the ground up. And it was hard, man. It was seriously a hard thing to do. But we rebuilt, went from an 800 square foot home to like a 2,500 square foot home, got in the best shape of my life in living in Carlsbad, living in La Costa, was running like 7 miles a day. Dave, did you hire someone to manage your books for your business, or do you do them personally? I hired someone. I have a bookkeeper that works for me, and she's out of state, but I give her all my books, man. I hate taxes. I hate trying to like do anything that I don't enjoy. I need to understand them. I know them. Actually, I understand taxes and I know like how they work, but I don't like to be like the guy that's filling out numbers. Basically, every single month I have a program. We have 2 programs. We have Quicken Books for the restaurant, and then also for me, I've got something called Fresh Books. And basically, all my bank accounts are all linked into it. And what it does is it tracks like everything, all my dinners, everything. So like once a month, I'll go on there and I'll write out like, oh, this was a dinner with so and so, or this was a trip for this, or this was business related. If this wasn't business related, this is personal. Whatever I can, I'd go out there, and then at the end of the year or quarterly, she takes all that. She has access to it, so she goes in there and then she basically kind of just separates. If she has any questions, she lets me know. She's like an EA too, so she knows how to deal with the IRS if she needs to. So she does she's not a CPA, she's a bookkeeper with an EA, so she knows a little bit about it. Do you know how to build a high ticket webinar into a back end of a product launch? Yeah, dude, my friend Chris Record just he did it himself. Do you guys remember the Videos launch? He was like the number 1 or number 2. I think he was the number 1 guy on that launch. So he actually did a webinar directly after that. The best way to do it is, one, you gotta have that relationship with whoever the other person is. But the way that I saw him do it was he just said, hey, I'm gonna promote for you guys, but I want to do a webinar on the back end. So you're gonna start seeing a lot more people doing this. But on the back end, he did something, and I think he did $150,000 in sales. And I was there for the webinar, and I think it took him he did a 3-hour, crushed out a webinar for 3 hours, and did like $150,000 in sales. And his product, some part of it, okay, not all of it, part of it had to do with this product that he's launching right now called the 3-0 Club, where he's teaching people how to get sub-penny views on like video, like viral video type stuff. Pretty strong, powerful stuff, especially for people that want to sell t-shirts and stuff online. And there's a whole strategy behind it. I watched the whole thing like 6 months ago, or no, not even that, 4 months ago during the mastermind. And then he basically is taking that and turning that into a product. Now he's got a whole nother thing. This weekend we're going to his mastermind in Sacramento, and he's got this whole other thing attached to it. Like it's all, like the mastermind is like always going to be the most relevant, up-to-date traffic getting secrets that he gets and he knows, and he's such a good trainer at it. So he's basically teaching everybody at that mastermind. But that's like a pretty, it costs a lot of money to be part of, but it'll pay for itself, because he's teaching you concepts that he's used over the years that are battle proven to work. So pretty stoked to be a part of that, and feel pretty blessed and thankful at the same time for being a part of that. I've wanted to turn my passion for photography into income sources. Any ideas for selling photos? Yeah, there's tons of places that you can post your photos to, like stock footage websites, that you can actually go and make it like do a contract with them. It's not a lot of money, but if you have tons and tons of stock photo and they're just sitting around doing nothing with them, like what I say, collecting dust, because they're not sitting in front of someone's possible eye, you should put them on there. And even if you want to open up some sort of your own brick and mortar place, or you could go to local restaurants and be like, hey, show them pictures and say, I'd love to put my pictures here, and for every picture you sell, I'll pay you 20%. Get your pictures out there, build some beautiful frames. If you have some amazing photography and stuff like that, you got to make some key relationships that way. And then also do some stuff with stock footage sites online where people actually pay you, you name your price usually, but anywhere from like $5 to $100 depending on what it is. Does your company teach be your own bank concept over funding? Yeah, you know what? I believe in that. Totally believe in that, because you can create a tax-free retirement if you structure it right. You got to be very careful with that too, by the way. The best way to do it is actually work with an insurance company that does the structuring for you. Not every insurance company does that, but you want to make sure you do it with a company that does, and that they have they have the attorney backing in case it doesn't happen, because there's a scary part about being your own bank with life insurance. I hire photographers in my gym to capture important moments, and they meet my members and build the net. Yeah, dude, I know that you have a really good a great guy at your gym that's phenomenal. You just need to utilize that resource more, man. Half Pipe Center is mindset. I missed that last part. I think you're answering someone else's question in regards to what you were saying there. But you know, like I said, going back on the photography stuff, it's just, you got to get out there and start making relationships with people. Idea for that. Okay, cool. What's your idea? What was the last thing you said, Dave? Give him that idea. You guys are taking some phenomenal. I saw the Ken Block thing on Instagram with you, and you're crushing it on Instagram. So congrats on that. Instagram might be a good way too to advertise yourself. They actually just opened up their ads platform, which I believe Instagram is part of Facebook. So I don't know how they're going to integrate together, but what I like about, I just started using Instagram. I'm not going to even post pictures on Facebook anymore. I'm going to post them on Instagram and have them automatically post on Facebook. You know, it's like you line up a couple of birds and you shoot them through. You know, why would you just do one bird, shoot them, put up another bird, shoot them? Line up your birds all the way down if you can. There's a site called, someone can correct me, it's called If It's This, It's That, IFTF or something like that. IFT something. If it's this, it's that. And so basically what it is, you create recipes that you can do. So like if you post on a blog, it'll take your blog and it'll email you, and then also it'll put it on Facebook for you, it'll put it on Instagram for you, it'll put it on Twitter for you. It'll do all these things once you set up the recipe. They call it a recipe. Sean Vossler, I'm going to give him a shout out for that, because he's the one that taught me. I learned from a training from him, and that guy's a master at Facebook marketing. He's a pretty good guy too. IFFT, thanks. Thank you for putting that up. So yeah, basically that is a good one to go to. It's free. I believe it's free. I don't think they charge. Maybe they charge. I don't know. I've used it. I have it. I did something so long ago, but then I see, like, if I post over on my Twitter account, I'll see it get posted everywhere, and I'll be like, oh, I think that's how that happened. I don't even know. Do you guys even know how the internet works? I mean, who really knows how the internet works? How does your cell phone work? I don't know. How does Periscope work? I don't know. I got a pair of shoes. I know how a pair of shoes work. That's about all I know. I'm not very smart. I just like to follow smart people. I like to follow smart people because they're the ones that have cracked the code, figured it out. You know, Anthony Robbins said it really good a long time ago about find the master and then follow him. Stand next to him. If you're not the smartest person in the room, find who the smartest person is and stand next to them. Okay, introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself. Find something that you can link yourself with them. Find something that you're both interested in, because then you can talk about real, be like real people and talk about things and show that you're real and they're real, and it basically crushes the ice. It breaks the ice. You need to focus on icebreakers with people that you don't know, and you got to put yourself out there. I mean, you have to introduce yourself to people and give them something of value. There was a message I talked about yesterday on about going to meetings or going to seminars and meeting people. And I was listening to a video the whole time I was listening to an audio tape the whole time I was going down there about crushing conferences, and it was a really good thing, but it talked about not talking about yourself and stuff. But I went to a marketers event where everybody wants to know about what everybody's doing. But typically, this same principle works with people. So if you can add something of value for someone, that's what I did for Chris Record. That's how I got in touch with him. I found him on Facebook. I was like, hey man, love what you're doing. I really respect it. I saw you just crushed out this last, Dark Post Profits 2.0 did like $800,000 in a week. Like that, you're the man. Like how, just started asking him questions about stuff. And then I was like, hey, I would love to add value to your office. And he's always kind of like hiring. And I was like, but guess what? I don't want to charge you anything. I just want to provide you with services that I can do. And he was like, well, what do you do? And I friggin' listed out like everything that I've been studying and everything I know about sales, online marketing, offline marketing, Facebook marketing, product creation, software development creation, stuff that I've been doing and studying. Part of this too, guys, is I think like Frank Kern said this a long time ago. He said he was at a meeting and people had spent thousands and thousands of dollars at their point, and they're all complaining like, I don't make any money online. Guys, I've never not made money online. Every single thing I've produced is actually made money online. So when someone says that they've never made money online, it's because they haven't produced anything. They haven't put anything out online yet. So how can you? You spend all of some of the times these people spend so much money on concepts and ideas and trainings and stuff like that, but then they just set it up on the shelf and they do nothing with it. And then they turn sour about it because I didn't make any money doing it. Well, it's because you really didn't take the time to follow through. So you got to follow through with what you're going to do. Like even if you get to a point where like, I don't really like this, you should still follow through because it's worth it for the lessons that you get from it. Because you get that unconscious competence that we talked about on another scope about getting an unconscious competence. Like my friend Dave Gavick here, went to his gym. He had like, I don't know, 8 or 9 guys that he's training. These are all young kids that are going to be up and coming MMA fighters. Probably not all of them, but maybe a couple of them might actually make it to the UFC. And he's in there and he's just doing his thing, man. Like, do you think he's consciously aware of what he's doing? He's not. He's just in there just like, hey guys, you got to have a killer instinct. Like, what's going on? Do you have a killer instinct? Why aren't you hitting him? The guy was going down. Why don't you hit him? Like, he was just getting in his face about it. But unconscious competence, because he knows it so well. It's drilled in him, and that's why he's like the hybrid man. He's like the guy that a lot of people in MMA world are starting to recognize, and they're going to him for conditioning, because that's one of his specialties, is getting people ready and conditioned for fights. And then he's training a lot of these kids that are up and coming. So pretty phenomenal thing. And no matter what happens, no matter where he goes, he's always going to be able to write his own check. So I think that too, guys, is that, you know, sometimes everybody talks about like having a resume. I've hired thousands and thousands of people. I believe that you need people to drive your business and grow your business. But there's a lot of things that people are, I think, explained to. Like, if you go to college and they tell you like, oh, you can take a class on how to build a resume, and you build these like 5-page resumes, and you go to many years of school, and you go to specialty school, and you go to all the stuff that has nothing to do with the job that you end up in, because something like 95% of the people that graduate never actually use their degree. It's a fact. So, but then they are drilled in their mind like, I need to have this resume. Well, guys, when I was hiring, you know, I've hired thousands and thousands of people in the insurance industry. When I was hiring these people, they would come into my office, okay? I was always suited up, like 3-piece suit, very, very stylish, just, you know, wanted to represent and like exude something maybe that I wasn't at the time, but I wanted to exude that. And I still could create that presence when they'd come into my office. But they would hand me their resume. They would sit down nervously. I'd look at their resume. If it was longer than 1 page, I would just set it down. I would set it down anyway, but I would never go in there like, hey, are you gonna look? I was like, no, tell me about yourself. So, you know, tell me a little bit about yourself. And then they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, well, like, where you're from, what side of town do you live on, do you have any kids, do you have any, or things that I could ask. I don't think I could ask if you have kids, but I just say, like, where are you from, what are your hobbies, you know, did you go on a vacation recently? Tell me about yourself. I want to get to know you before I decide to make a decision to hire you for a long period of time. Tell me about yourself. And then they would say like, oh, well, you know, I'm from so-and-so. And I did this in Vegas back in 2006 and 7. Actually 2005 and 6 and 7. And basically every single day we would interview hundreds of people. I had a staff of people that would interview people. And then I would do like an orientation meeting. This is how the insurance industry is. At least where we worked at. We do an orientation meeting, which was actually another interview. We had like a 5-step interview process. We made people work for it every single step. But the whole step, honestly, guys, was not anything else but to make someone work for it. Because why would you want to work for a company that you could walk in the door and they want to hire everybody? So we had to change the thought of it. We had to change it. And a guy named James Sun, I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he was on The Second Apprentice. He was the runner-up to win. The guy was an amazing guy. He's a self-made millionaire. He doesn't work for that company anymore, obviously, when he went off to do the apprentice thing. And he does online software and stuff. I don't really keep in touch with him, but the guy's an amazing, amazing marketer. He was like one of the first internet marketers to make millions of dollars. And now I think he's still doing it. But that guy created this system. He made a system that was easy to get, made it hard, because you always want what you can't have. That's the thing, is like, that's why even in sales messages, sometimes there's all these like takeaways at the end, because they want you to want it more. Because if you want it more, more people are going to buy. More people will buy. And so during the interviewing process, it was the same thing. We used to use this technique of silence. Okay? The way that it would work, I'll give you the secret. It's a very simple thing for interviewing people. whenever you ask a question, and you can do this over the phone, whenever you ask a question like, where are you from, why should I even hire you, what kind of skill set, well, did you look at my resume? I don't need to look at your resume. I want you to tell me. I want you to sell me on why I should hire you. I don't need your resume to tell me why I should hire you. In fact, I don't even look at these. Most of the time I didn't even look at them, just like looked at them, set them down, because I don't have time to look at that. I'd rather converse with you and see if you have skills, and if you have skill sets that you could actually provide something of value for our business. So I'd make them work for it. And then the little secret that I was going to tell you about the silence thing is, you, after they answer a question, you just look at them and you don't say anything. And the first one who speaks, just like in sales, like Zig Ziglar says, the first one who speaks loses. It's an uncomfortable silence, guys. It's an uncomfortable silence, but you need to have that uncomfortable silence, because people will actually start feeling like, and they'll feel like they need to sell you, and they'll start answering more, start talking, and people sometimes will just sell themselves out on why you shouldn't hire them, which would save you and your company literally thousands of dollars in time and anguish, mental anguish. I've spent a lot of time with people that we shouldn't even hired, okay, and that we were always looking for ways of how could we weed these people out of the system, okay? Because they just didn't have what it takes. They weren't willing to do what it takes. I think everybody has it, but they're just not willing to do it because they're lazy. They didn't think of the opportunity as anything else but a job. So they had an employee type mentality, and they had this mentality that everybody owed them something, and they don't. You guys have to go get it. Yeah, if you feel like you're owed something, you need to go get that ownership. Okay? You need to get that ownership. You need to work for that ownership, and then you need to respect it. Because what happens when something's given to you, you don't respect it. All right, guys, so this scope was, hopefully you guys got some stuff. I know you guys said earlier you did. Do you have any other questions you want to ask me? Like I said, if you're new to this, my name's KarlSchuckert. I'm an entrepreneur. I live up here in South Lake Tahoe. I believe in multiple streams of income, and I love teaching other people how to build wealth, prosperity, and freedom and happiness and all that stuff. So, guys, if you don't know who I am, make sure you follow me. Also, for whoever gives us the most hearts, you can go to winatlife.us. winatlife.us, and basically what you'll get at winatlife.us in trade for your email address is my 20 top productivity e-tips. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for being a part of it. My top 20 productivity tips and tricks that will help you skyrocket your business and maintain. So get on that. Go sign up. Make sure you give me hearts. Make sure you follow me, and you get on other scopes, and we'll have a contest. We're gonna have a heart off contest as we get closer. So once we hit 1 million hearts, I'm gonna pick. We'll have a few gifts. Right now, I've got a couple of Kindle Fires. I've got a Nook. I've got a couple of things. We're gonna put together like a whole bunch of things, and it'll be based off of. Thank you. It'll be based off of like whoever shared the most, who's given the most hearts, who's been the most active in the feeds with asking questions or saying something and just being part of it, because this is an interactive platform. This is where you have an opportunity to speak to many, and hopefully you can change some lives with this. Now it's being used for the most positive things I've ever seen, and in fact a lot of people that were negative, I don't see them on scope so much anymore. I think at a month ago when we first started, for us, we had more people that were haters, but those people seem to have gotten they've either changed their mindset or they've been just blocked out by everybody. And so what a great platform. There's no other better platform that you can actually spread a super positive message. And like I said, if I can change one life, or even change one life that'll change many, that's the difference. I think I heard a quote today that said, leaders leaders don't produce, they produce people that produce more. Okay, they don't produce themselves, they produce people that produce more. That was a pretty good saying that I heard today. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. You guys have a fantastic, and we'll be soon. My weirdos and haters have dropped too. Yeah, totally. Yeah, these guys are gone, I think. And even, we'll still have what they call trolls or something like that. We'll probably see a few more of those here and there, but for the most part, they're gone. I think they realized when they came here, they realized that, whoa, I can't hate on you. Like, people can go to forums and hate on you and stuff like that, unfortunately, but here, but even on forums, like, you can still come back and be like, hey, I don't understand what your issue is. My job, I'm just trying to help people. Like, dude, I'm just trying to help you. If I can help you change yourself and your idea of how the world is, because your perception is twisted, doesn't mean that everybody else's is. So anyway, that's enough energy about haters. But guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I don't know if I'm going to scope again tonight. Tomorrow I head off to Sacramento. I'm going to be spending the weekend at Chris Records' Seven Figure Traffic Academy, his mastermind. And one day I think we're going to be doing, and I think I'm going to be part of it, we're going to be doing a whole Periscope like training event. It'll probably be a few hours long. I'm going to make sure to have to have you guys live if you guys want to join me during that, as long as it's okay with Chris, which I don't think it'll be a big deal. I'm pretty sure he's going to be scoping too, so we'll see you guys at that time. If not, I'll see you on the road. I mean, if I get some time driving over the mountain, I'd probably hook you guys up with some more golden nuggets. Thanks for being a part. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for hearting. You guys have a great rest of your evening.